Hey everybody, it's Patrick from the Master Knife Shop coming to you with another review. Today I'm going to take a look at something that's very cool in our knife shop. It is the Boker Tech Tool. We've had this a few times in our shop and it's got some pretty cool steel and it's actually usable Damascus. And I'm going to talk about that later, so hang with me. I'll also have some comparisons, but let's take a look at the box. As usual, Boker gives us a nice box. Mostly they come with bigger boxes with storage sheaths in there, but this is a pretty small one, but it's okay. There you go. Nice little box. And in here, you're going to have your care instructions in German and in English. It's going to be your warranty instructions and care. And that comes in every box. So that's pretty cool. Don't throw that away. They want you to know what's going on. So the knife itself, it's a beautiful knife. We've had this in two different iterations in our shop. We've had it in a black G10 scales with satin finish. We've also had it with an orange handle, which actually turns white in the dark and glows. Also Tech Tool with a satin finish. So that was probably the most popular one. But this one we just received, and it's probably my favorite Tech Tool we've ever had. It is basically taking a Volkswagen and turning it into a Porsche. It's just beautiful. All the things about the Tech Tool which we love, and they just upgraded everything. So let's just jump in and see what we got going on. You notice right away, it's got this beautiful Damascus. I love that right away. That's got the raindrop pattern. And even the G10 scales, they did some really cool designs on this to really make it stand out. And of course you have the Boker medallion. A couple things about this. It is not a flipper. This is designed basically old school gentleman style, which I do like. Even though they've upgraded it to have these modern looks about it, it is a gentleman's knife. And so you're going to have a nail nick right there. That's going to be your opening process. Pop it open. There is no half stop on this, so it's not a true slip joint, but it does have a nice firm opening and holds it there really nice. And when it shuts down, that right there, the detent is really tight, so you don't have to worry about that popping out in your pocket. Really well thought out, well built. I like the fact that it also has a full backspacer on there. It also has a really cool, get a little better look there, glass breaker. All the Tech Tools have this really cool glass breaker. Really nice. And it's a true glass breaker, not something that's just kind of thrown on there to look like it. This actually works really, really well. So there you go with a nice clip. What I do like about this clip, this is not just reversible. What's different about this knife, it is tipped down. So there's your clip and tipped down. In our knife shop, over at the Master Knife Shop, probably about 1% of knives are tipped down. The standard is usually tip up because you're pulling it out with one hand and flipping it open. What they do offer you for this knife is reversible. You can take this and flip it to this side and switch it to tip up. So that's a cool feature. It doesn't take long. If you bought this in our shop and you want us to switch it around, we do it while you wait. So that's another cool feature. I do like the fact that it is a drop point blade, flat grind, and they did polish up the Damascus, so it has a nice look to it with that raindrop pattern. I really do like that a lot. It's just a really smooth looking, cool looking knife for something simple to keep in your pocket. Some people, for the old gentleman knives, they don't like the clip on here. We get that a lot from the older folks that come in. We take it off for you, and that way they can just drop it in their pocket and it's all good that way. So we'll do that for you too if you want. It's just a beautiful piece all the way around. The design on this is just gorgeous. I mean, you can't go wrong. That is beautiful. The other knives were nice, the other Tech Tools, but this really stands out and I really like it. You're curious, like, well, how big is it? We're going to get into the specs in a second, but I did bring some other knives to put up to it so you can kind of get an idea. This right here is Civivi Baby Banter. You can see the size is a little bit smaller there. Still a great little knife. And then, of course, going to a bigger size, everybody's familiar with the Bugout. Most people, I guess, are familiar with the Bugout from Benchmade. So you can see size-wise where it fits in. It's not oversized. It's not too small. Really just made for an EDC carry, kind of, like I said, old-school gentleman's knife. We like to call them weekenders or Sunday knives. It's just a really pretty knife, but it does have some great steel. So we're going to cover that right now. We get into the specs. We were talking about the size and weight of this is 2.1 ounces. So very lightweight. You don't have to feel like it's pulling down your pants when you've got it in your pocket. It's just lightweight. You know it's there. You know it's strong with that full backspacer, so you can use it. But it just sits in there really nice at 2.1 ounces. Lengthwise, we're looking at full length open is 6.6 inches, not quite 7, so it's not that big, but the blade length is 2.8 inches. You don't really need a lot of work and edge on something this small, but it's got plenty to work with there, and of course it does have your typical sharpening choil there. You get a full sharpen when you're taking care of your sharpening. The steel on this, let's take a look at the steel. I do like this because it is working steel. Even though it's pretty with that raindrop pattern, Boker is known for doing all the Damascus so you can work with them. I'm going to use the steel chart and kind of zoom in on what it is. We don't have the exact things because this particular knife, they combined 1075 steel with 15N20. So I'll get you some various ideas about where it is. 1095 is here. This is your edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance. 1075 is going to be a little bit better in the toughness area. 1095, it'll be about the same for your edge retention. 5920, which is what they combined to make this, is more into stainless properties. So we're going to drop down right around Nitro V, and that's where you're going to get your stainless properties right there. So these are the equivalents of what you're looking at. So you know that it is a working steel. It's not just for putting on the shelf or showing off. You can actually use this every day for all your everyday simple things, you know, cutting open boxes, cutting twine, the simpler things. It's not really a blue collar steel, of course. That's not what it's built for. It's built more for cool looks and just simple use, everyday carry. That's the steel in that guy. Not bad at all. I'm just really impressed with what they did. Just the way they put this whole thing together. It really stands out in the shop, on the shelf. When people walk by and they look in our shop, they'll stop and look at this immediately just because of how gorgeous it looks. And then they'll take it out and see how well built it is. So really cool knife. The price on this for something that is Damascus, true Damascus, and has this gorgeous build to it is really good. It's $129.95, available online or in our store. I think that's worth every penny for this type of knife. A lot of Damascus blades that come in at $200 and go up from there. So this is really a beautiful piece, and I'm really glad we have it in our shop. So that'll do it today for the tech tool from Boker. I hope you found this information helpful. Before you go, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to our channel. And ring the bell so you make sure you get notified every time we release a new video. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time.